Good morning. Good morning, everyone. This is Rita from Miss Rita to the Rescue. I wanted to, let me just do this. I'm going to share my video. Someone gave me this idea. Share it as a watch party, hoping that is going to help with people being able to find us when we're on live. People ask about that all the time. When are you on live? And kind of generally in the mornings, except for on Friday nights where we usually go live on YouTube. But I always repost the videos for people to watch throughout the day. And if you have feedback about that, I'd love to hear it, because I'm really, really new to the, video distribution model. So anyway, today's Earth Day, and it is the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. Good morning, Penny. I am feeling better. It's the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. Earth Day is a very special day for me because I am very into green things. A lot of my friends know that, and we actually had to postpone our annual event in the city, in Peabody. We have a group called Green Peabody that organizes an annual event called Green Fest. And we try to center around the time of Earth Day, but unfortunately couldn't have it because of COVID. So I was sitting here thinking, gee, how am I going to celebrate 50th anniversary of Earth Day? And I thought, I think what we need to think about, take a step back and think about, is how busy we all have been, and how busy and how much we were sort of on a treadmill, and because of that we have really not used our resources very well. So good morning, Paula. And so I think that this, I know a lot of people say, oh, don't turn it into something religious or something, but I do think, the earth was telling us something like, hey, wait a second. I saw a video, and I hope it was real. I saw a video of Venice, the streets of Venice, which are water, and there was a beautiful jellyfish roaming up and down the streets of Venice, in the waterways. And I thought, wow. I know that there was one that was of sharks, but that was fake. But this one I saw, I think it was real. And also you hear about different animals coming out and what have you. And I don't know, I think it's a good time for us to ponder what we're doing, what we're doing. And also to look with hope at the future, because sometimes it can get a little bit disconcerting to wonder about it. And how does that tie into Cricut? Well, first of all, I like to think working with Cricut, it's very much like working origami or doing a small craft, that it's a small little thing, but it's beauty. You're creating beauty, and you're using very humble materials, including paper, which is one of my favorite materials, and making something beautiful to show people that there's incredible beauty and talent in the world. And that's the one thing that I love about Cricut, is it makes me be a better artist or a better maker. And that's important. It's important. It's similar to having flowers. I mean, you can't eat flowers. Well, some of them you can eat, but there's still a reason why flowers. Yeah, and it's also therapeutic at times. Paul is saying it's therapeutic at times. Yeah, sometimes it would do that too. So Paul is saying Sometimes will make you bald. Yes, I agree. But I hope that you're learning a lot, and that you can, things that maybe didn't make sense are starting to make sense to you, or certain things are starting to make sense. Anyway, so as I got a little on my soapbox, I thought, what can I present today? I was talking yesterday about these 3D letters that I've made a couple of times, and people just really, really love them. They are from one of my favorite designers, Laurie Whitlock, and they are indeed 3D. They're about an inch wide and 3D, and I've done them larger, smaller. I've done them in seasonal colors, like for Christmas, and for Halloween. So today I thought that I would make the word hope. And I thought also it would be nice to use the craft paper because it's kind of earthy. And I chose some green, this beautiful emerald garden stack that I've had. Good morning, Maria. This is from Die Cuts with a View, DCWV, Die Cuts with a View. It's called Emerald Garden Stack. All kinds of green for our green. This one's backwards. But all kinds of really pretty greens. And so I chose to make each letter a different color of this, a different pattern actually. So that's what I chose. And also I chose for the background to be these this craft paper because I just thought it looked really good together. So for paper, Paul is asking about paper. I use cardstock. That's what I call it, paper, but it's really cardstock, and it's available lots of places. I think like Walmart and Target have it, but I generally buy it from Michael's. And this is what it looks like. Mostly, Michael's has it in two sizes. The standard size, which is copy paper size, 8.5 by 11. And they sell these for packs of 50, usually less than $5. Good morning, Charlene. And so for packs of 50, so you get 50 sheets of this very nice weight cardstock. And when it's put together, because it also has the front and the back on it, which I'll show you, here we go, front and back. It really makes it very sturdy. And unless you have a dog that likes to chew, like I do, these will last you a very long time. So it might be a little bit hard to get the hang of it at first, but if you can keep it away from your dog that's pretending to be a beaver, you will have them for a very, very long time. So the way that these cut out is in two different pieces of paper, kinds of paper. So here is, for example, is the E, and you get the front and the back. They're both, well, because it's E, right? So you get the front and the back like that. Now, where do you purchase these? I buy these at, or I bought these at Laurie Whitlock's shop, which is shop.Laurie, Lori, Whitlock.com, WHITLOCK.com. She sells these individual letters for about $1.50 each. I would recommend, if you want to get these, to wait until she goes on sale. Sadly, she had a sale recently, and so it if you cannot wait, you can still get it for $1.50, and you could just buy one letter and get the hang of it too. I mean, that's always an option, So, and by the way, at this size, the size that she gives you, this can absolutely be cut on the Cricut Joy, and also can be cut on any machine, really. I'm finding that it's not the Joy has some limitations, but this is not one of them, because unless you make them really, really big, and I'm going to show you how to put them together. But so basically the way that these work is you have the fronts, as I mentioned. So here's the P, right? So you have the fronts, and then you have these pieces that you're going to make into a strip. And then you start gluing it all around the letter. And you do this so that you end up with the back of the letter open like this. And then when you're done, you put the top piece here and you glue it. And you do need to be careful of, especially with letters like P, because you want them to stand up straight. And so you have to be very careful about making sure that it's balanced. Sometimes though, I cheat and I make sure that it's leaning against something else. So we're making the word hope today. And so I wanted to show you the E. I already made the H, and the P is almost done. So what ends up happening is you end up cutting out these E's, and then whatever paper you find, and then you have this. And again, you can cut this on the Joy. It will look different because you'll have a different size mat. But you basically, for the letter E, you end up with these 4 pieces. Okay, now, oops. You're either going to, depending on how you set this up, you're going to score this using a scoring stylus, which you cannot use on the Joy, but you can use on your Maker or Explore. Or you could use the dashed lines, but so there's scoring involved, a lot of scoring involved. And I get real close so you can see it. So there's a lot of scoring. So what you do is once you cut it out, you're going to go and make sure you do a nice sharp score. And it just means fold it and, you know, either use your finger or you can use something like this, which is a spatula. No, it is a scraper. It's a scraper. And you can just make sure. I mean, I don't do it so hard because I don't want it to rip. But it's nice to have a nice strong edge there. So you would go ahead and you would fold all of those pieces. Now you will notice that there are these little markings. Here's a marking. Here's another marking. Here's a marking. Okay. And what that is there for is to help you put the letters in or put the strips in order so that it makes the letter that you're trying to make. And what do I mean by that? So you're going to match, oops, I got a little extra glue here. So you're going to match the 3, Bonnie, they're from shop.lauriewhitlock.com. She's a designer. It's an SVG, and they're $1.50 each right now. You can also buy the complete set, but individually they're $1.50. She does have a sale once a month. Okay, so so see what I'm doing here is I've glued the 000 or triple whatever O together. Now I'm going to go and take and put the double O and put that together. And again, real careful here because it will affect the way that the letter stands if you're not being very, very careful. And then I've got my single O that I'm going to attach. Okay. I'll just get some glue on there. I didn't score this one. Should have scored it. All right. Now that I have all 4 of my pieces together, I have a giant line, a giant strip of, it looks a little confusing. I don't want to lose you. Don't leave me yet, because it really does work out, and it works out really well. So I'm just going back and doing all my scoring so you can see how I'm scoring it. And make sure when you're doing the scoring, you're doing the edges. You need the edges. And you can leave it as a strip, by the way, or you can close it. I actually leave it as an open strip. But make sure you're going and doing the scoring on the top here too. So it's like kind of like a paper snake, you see? Then what you're going to do is you're going to take one of your letters and look for the longest edge. In this case, this is the longest edge. So I'm going to look for the longest edge on my strip. These are just my folded down tabs. And I'm going to put some glue. Sorry, I squirted out way too much glue, so I'm using a little reservoir over here. Normally I use my liquid glue. I use my art glitter glue. You guys are probably tired of hearing about art glitter glue, but it's the glue that I like to use. It's a lot of fun, and I get it from createforless.com. You can also get it at Amazon. I don't think it's available at Michael's, but it's really a great glue. It's good for paper working. Okay, so here we put the largest piece, the biggest piece here, onto the front of that E. You see what we're doing? So now we're just going to work our way around the E, folding it at all of the places that the scores are at. And we're going to work from the back of this. And you don't need a lot of glue. Don't overdo it on the glue, or you'll end up like me with it all on your fingers and peeling it all off all the time. So I'm working around on the letters, and I do it one little section or one little tab at a time. I suppose if I got kind of impatient, I could do this and take a lot less time, but I want my letters to stand up. So it's a little bit hard because I usually work on a flat surface, especially with these letters, but I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here. I might be able to move down. So I'm going and putting my glue on each of those tabs. And as I follow the inside edge, right? See that inside edge? You might have to move it around. Make sure that it's really on that edge from where it's bent. And this does take practice. Don't beat yourself up if you don't get it first. That's why it's made out of paper, you know. So don't, get all upset with yourself. And you continue to move along. And so I'll show you a few more pieces because I want to show you what happens when you have a letter that has a hole in it, like an O, because we're doing the words hope. But letters like P and O and R and what are the other ones? No, I don't think G. I don't know. Ashley, so these SVG letters are from someone called Laurie Whitlock, and you can buy them at her shop, shop.lauriewhitlock.com. Right now, she sells these individually or as a complete set, and they are $1.50 each when you buy them individually. shop.lauriewhitlock.com. I am not an affiliate of Laurie's. I just happen to really like these letters. But if you're happen to place an order, you can certainly tell her I sent you. Maybe she'll acknowledge that. That would be nice. But anyway, so here I am still working on that front side of my E. See that? Now, the last piece of the E is this interior piece. So let me just glue this. And then we got to make sure that we put glue on that interior tab. This is why you want to keep the back, you know, open, not the front open, because if you mess up, you won't be able to see what your mess up is too much. All right, so now we have our E. I need to make sure that it's going to stand up. And you guys will do a better job than I do because I'm trying to do this on the camera. So we have this, and this is what it looks like on the back. Okay, so there are little dots there, so we know we line them all up. Then we take our so Carol's asking, will I be doing any more projects with the Cricut Explorer Maker? I absolutely will be. What I'm finding out, Carol, is that I love all of these machines. I think that they each have their own merits. The Maker, I think, is extremely powerful, and I have always said that it's like the top of the line machine. It's like the premier of the Cricut machines. It's more expensive, but it has more attachments. The Explorer family is sort of the middle of the road, and that doesn't mean bad. It just means, you know, what most people could use. And it has some attachments, not a whole lot, but and then you've got the Joy, which is a very personal, small size, does some really amazing things, but it's a lot smaller, but very much portable. So what I'm finding is that all of the machines are useful to me. Now, if you were to choose one, that's really up to how you plan on using the machine. Okay, so I can't tell you which one to choose. Like, I have a friend in Colorado, and she was asking me this a little while back, saying, you know, what would you recommend? And at that time I said, this was before Joy, I said, you know, if you're not going to cut fabric or anything really special, then get an Explore Air 2. But if you're going to, you know, plan on cutting something like basswood or leather, fabric, all kinds of fabric, so many kinds of fabric, then really a Maker is going to be your best friend. And, you know, don't feel like you over splurge if you get the Maker, because it does all the same things as Explore and more. So it's not as if, you know, you wasted that, because it's an excellent machine. Now, all of the machines use the same software. That's what I love about it. So I can actually design something or have a file on my design space, and I have a computer and a laptop. And and I also have an iPhone. And so I can, you know, design it. And I do this quite often. I might have my laptop in the kitchen while I'm cooking dinner, and I'm like working on designs. This morning I was having breakfast working on designs, and that was just fun because I'm not in my studio, which is in a different part of the house. So, all right. So I hope that answered. Yeah, absolutely, Maria. I'm happy to talk to any husbands ever, all the time. So let's talk about this letter O. So, you know, a letter O has the middle part, and we've got other letters like P. I did it for the P, and also R. I'm trying to think which other ones might be. P, R. S-T-U-V. I think maybe it's just those three. I don't know. Anyway, so how do you do the middle? So the middle is its own little little piece, and you notice that the markings, and by the way, this marking is done on the machine when you're cutting it out, okay? So it has a little squarish marking, so you'll know, okay, this part is supposed to go in the middle. So what I did was I formed the square that is the middle of the B. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you. D would be one too. B and D, thank you. So I formed that square in the middle, and so now I'm going to put it on the inside, but instead of folding the tabs in like we did with these other ones, we're going to fold the tabs out, okay? And then we can go ahead and put the glue on the inside edge of the front or the back, whatever. And carefully, and this is why I like liquid glue, because you can sort of, you know, move it a little tiny bit. So that way you now have the 3D portion of the inside. You see that? Isn't that, when I first learned that, I was like, wow, that is so, wow, amazingly fabulous. So there is the inside of the O, and now we have our strip again, which I've connected the 3s with the 3, the 2 with the 2, the 1 with the 1. And then, by the way, there's nothing on these ends, okay? And then I start with the longest edge. Now, with an O, there's 2 of the exact same edges. That wasn't the case with the E. So you can start either side, it doesn't matter. And then we just start doing that, where we just start gluing again on the tabs. All right. And we start with that, and that's the first piece is the most important, because you got to really get it edge there. And then we just continue to work around until we have put this all through and around the letter. See that? And that is how I will continue to do this while we're talking, but that's how you make these 3D letters. There's really nothing to it. I will also tell you that on Laurie's shop, I don't know if my computer's going to show it on. Let me see if I can show you on my computer. On Laurie's shop, if you go there, let's see, I can move you over here. All right, so here is one of the files. This is the Q. And again, like, I mean, how many words do you know that's going to have a Q in it? So maybe you don't need to buy all of the letters. Maybe you just buy the ones that are in your daughter's name or whatever, you know, something like that. But when you look for them at Laurie's site, if you type in the search term 3D, you will get a lot of different things. So, and you get like kind of a search tree, 3D letters. And her site is set up more of a blog than it is a shop. So you'll have some videos that you can watch on her that she's created on how to put together the letters. And she has also these 2 kinds of letters. She has these marquee letters, which go together differently. They're still made out of paper, but they're for those little lights, okay? And then she has the paper letters. And again, she has the whole bundle. You can buy the entire thing, or you can just buy certain letters, and know that she does do a sale once a month, and it's usually at least 30% off. She just had one, and so if you wanted to just try this, you could just buy one letter, maybe your last name or something, and try it out. And if you really love it, come back. It's usually the middle of the month. She doesn't have a set date, and she sells them. Okay. Good morning, Shelly from Dallas. So that's Laurie. It's Laurie, Lori. So it's shop.Laurie, Lori, Whitlock, WHITLOCK.com. Now, while I was putting this together, I started thinking about Laurie. I love all of her designs. One of the things that she really just is so great at are box cards. And these are very, very traditional box cards. So a few years ago, when I was in Utah at the Mountain Make-a-thon, I gave a lesson on how to put together one of these box cards, because these ones here are in Cricut Design Space. They are not free, but they are in Cricut Design Space. She has a whole cartridge available, and it's called All Occasion Box Cards. I want to show you how you'd find them. Oop, it's a banner that I was working on. Okay, so hold on, let me just start new so you don't have to see that. Okay, so if you go to images, let's move you. Good morning, Amy. Okay, so I'm going to images, and we're going to go to image sets. That's the new wording for cartridges. So when this came out, this was called a cartridge, and it's called All Occasion Box Cards. But I just know that, you can just type in box cards or box, and what will show up is these different things that have the word box in them, different sets of images. So in this particular case, Anna Griffin, whom we all love, has her own different box cards, and I'm going to show you how to make those. But I wanted to point you to these ones, which is called the All Occasion Box Cards, and I'm going to show you how to put these together. But these ones are different than the letters. Okay, the letters are not available in Cricut Design Space, so you'll have to upload them like we've done before. But there's quite a few of them, and the ones that I really like, I love this one. This is the one I did the tutorial on a couple years ago. It has like a phone, and it doesn't look as really exciting as it is, and so it really is a fun project. And Laurie has a couple of cartridges. I don't think her name's associated with those cartridges, so in case you're really a big fan and you wanted to get those cartridges, you can buy them in Cricut Design Space, and they are a purchased item. So, which I've already purchased them. But if there was a price associated, there would be a price associated with this if you had not purchased it, and each individual one would cost whatever, I don't know, $1.50 or $2, whatever. And so you can go through all of these, and here's the one that we just did, or this one here that I'm going to show you. But there's wonderful. There's a wedding one, home sweet home, just because with the bees, flowers. I've made these a lot, and it was definitely well worth the $30 or something that I paid to get all of these files, because if I bought them all individually at Laurie's site, even on sale, would have cost me $30 because there's 30 of them here. She also has another image set, and I'm trying to remember. If you type in her name, let's try that. Yeah. Now these are uploaded, but no, what's it called? Like just because, occasion, because. She has another one that has a lot of little 3D things, but I can't remember the name of it right now. So, it's like Laurie. I don't think it had her name on it though. No. Anyway, so there is all occasion box cards. We're going to be doing that again. We're going to be showing you how to put 2 of them together. This is a box card. So basically what a box card is it folds flat like this. See that? Folds completely flat. And then when the recipient receives it, they just open it up and the little flaps come down. It has a really pretty in the background. It has this insert in there and a message. So much fun. And believe it or not, once you get the hang of it, incredibly easy once you get the hang of it, okay? And these are slightly different than the ones that she makes in her shop, because the ones in her shop actually uses different inserts. So these are really fun to make, and I'm going to show you how to make them tomorrow. Okay, so that is how to put together a 3D letter from Laurie Whitlock, and also about the box cards. I love Laurie. She's got great stuff. My only complaint, and she's probably going to kill me for mentioning this, but is that she has so much stuff, it's hard to find. So don't get frustrated if you're looking. She's also the woman that is doing these insert cards for the Joy, which you can buy now, but they're hard to find on her website just because she just has so much stuff there. So that's one of my favorite designers, Laurie Whitlock. And let me see. I think that's it for today. I still am working on getting all of the people notified about the winnings, so I'll be coming back later today. I think today would be a good day to do that. And so I thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoy. It's cold here today. We're in Peabody. It's super windy and it's cold. My friend Arthur was saying, oh, it's so cold. And my little dog, Teddy Bear, I posted a picture of him. He did not want to get out of bed this morning. And he had very important things to do. So yeah, he did not want to get out of bed this morning. I know it's hard. It's hard when we're home. It's hard to create that sense of separateness. But it is important because you don't want to be working all the time either, and if you don't create that separateness and have a schedule and keep to it, then it becomes that you're always working, and that's just not a good thing, right? So anyway, my little advice. I hope you get out to see the earth today and thank it for providing us with all of this wonderful greenery, and enjoy and think about your consumption habits, and think about how you can make the earth a better place by living. And that will be a wonderful celebration of Earth Day. So thanks so much for coming today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. We'll see you again really soon, hopefully tomorrow, as long as everything goes smoothly, right? We'll see you again tomorrow. Let me know if there's anything you want to see that I'm not showing you. Oh, wait, one more thing. Somebody asked me, and this was on YouTube, but somebody asked me about Mother's Day cards for the Joy. And I spent a little time this morning developing the first of, I think, what's going to end up being like probably 50 cards for mothers that are joy. So I put together, I'm going to do them in groups of like 10. So that way you don't get overwhelmed doing that. So I'm going to post those, and we'll do a tutorial over them so people can understand how those insert cards work and how to make your own insert cards. Because I know a lot of people even though there's like hundreds of insert cards there, a lot of people have made them all now, so somebody asked, and there's our hope, right? Hope for the future. Thanks so much for coming today. Have a wonderful day.